Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hey, Miami Dolphins fans, it's a Sunday, but it's not game day yet. We got to wait another day till we get to see our Miami Dolphins play tomorrow night. But as always, we are joined by Steve, but instead of him being in Houston, he's in Virginia today, but he's still spending time with us. Thank you, Steve, for still giving us some moments of your day. I know you're visiting your grandchildren, so I appreciate the time.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure, Rob. Anytime, man. You know me, man. We're gonna talk Dolphins, I'm gonna be here.
Hey, but speaking of special things, you being over there with your family, we got a
Mhm.
special guest with us today.
All
Her
right.
name's Courtney, and Steve, we had the pleasure of talking to her a few minutes before the show. She's a super Dolphin fan. Should we bring her on in?
Absolutely.
All right. Courtney. Hey, Courtney.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great,
Good.
as we always do. Tell us a little about yourself and how you became a Miami Dolphins fan.
I'm originally from South Florida, Cape Coral. Grew up there my whole life. I come from a Steelers family, as everybody knows. And I saw Dan Marino, was sold. And my dad says I'm his biggest disappointment because I'm the only family member that does not follow the Steelers now.
Hey, in a way, you followed a quarterback that's from Pittsburgh, so they should
Yeah.
have given you
Yeah.
some. They should have given you some brownie points.
Yeah, I can talk good with the Steelers fans though too, because that's somehow I'm in my family's Steelers group chat still. So like every game I'm getting blown up with their thoughts and
Yeah.
their reactions.
Yeah, they must have not. They must have hate losing to New England the other night. That must have been a big blow to them.
They were at my house. It wasn't pretty.
Well, anyway, so much thank you. Steve, we don't play until tomorrow night. Normally, we would do our pregame today. So we're going to do like what the Dolphins can't do. We're going to do a little looking ahead, but we will talk about the keys to the game tomorrow. So we would touch on that a little bit. And we would touch on some of the other news. Like, it looks like Robert Hunt's not going to play tomorrow. So it's going to be a backup in there again. We did sign that Calvin Munchin off the practice squad. So that's some of the news I just wanted to get out of the way. Hey, Scotty says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. He's a great guy on here. He's always in our show. So
Morning, Scotty.
good morning to you too, Scotty. And Ray Finkel. He's always in here too. And man, we got a whole bunch of the regulars already. I appreciate you guys, Flavor J and Newfoundland. Fins up to all of you. So, Courtney, let's just, before we look into the other games, we'll talk some about tomorrow's night's game. And Steve, I'll let you go first, Steve, since you're my normal co-host. Sorry, I know it's ladies first sometimes, but I let Steve kind of get his taste. So what's your keys for the game tomorrow, Steve?
Oh, wow. Well, keys to the game for our defense is definitely stopping Derrick Henry, because we're going to get a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. Also, let's not forget about Hopkins, the wide receiver. I know he's up there in age, but he still has the hops. He's still very good, dangerous wide receiver. So we have to contain definitely Derrick Henry, get that the running game stopped, and create some turnovers. Put some pressure on the rookie Will Levis. Vic Fangio's defenses are very good against rookie quarterbacks. So that's the keys to the game for our defense. For offense, I believe we have to do more of the same. I think we have to establish our running game, have more of a balanced attack, make sure we protect Tua Tagovailoa, and no turnovers.
Okay. Courtney?
Yes.
I know he covered a lot, but if it's a repeat, that's fine, because I'm going to repeat some of the things he said. So what's your keys for victory tomorrow night?
think he covered a lot. I think offense, unpopular opinion, but we can't have our receivers dropping balls. I feel like that's been a big problem lately.
Mm-hmm.
Even my favorite, Jalen Waddle, has really struggled with that. Really not abandoning the run. I feel like we really have to commit to it. And I think with Mozart and Achane both healthy and back, that'll be a huge thing.
Yep.
Unpopular, I think we should sit Terrell Armstead. Get him healthy for when we really need him. I don't think that this is going to be a super challenging game for us. And then defensively, my research says that Will Levis is terrible at decision making, especially when pressured. So if we just get in his face, pressure, sack, just really that defensive front needs to come for it. I think I'm not too worried about Ramsey and X. I think they're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
I think pressure is really going to be on our linebackers because quarterbacks don't want to throw there. They're going to throw the middle of the field. And that's where I stand.
Yeah, like I cover all you guys. I want more running the ball too, especially if Achane being back. And like you kind of touched on, Steve, avoid the turnovers. We did against the Commanders, and it shows the benefit of our offense. We scored a lot more points than we had been scoring. So avoid those turnovers and let's just keep rolling. Because when you start facing the final opponents that we're going to be talking about here in the next few minutes, the final few games, you can't be turning the ball over. So clean it up now as we take on these supposed teams that we're supposed to beat, you know. And we've been spoiled this year because the Dolphins have beat every team that they're supposed to beat. This is the NFL, and you can get upset at any time. So I just hope they keep that going. Like you said, I am with you on that. I think the Dolphins should be able to beat Tennessee tomorrow pretty easily. But if the team thinks like that, they could very easily get beat. So
Yeah,
just
no,
see.
that's a good point, Rob. But I want to piggyback on what Courtney said on Terran Armstead. Definitely agree with you 100%, Courtney. Rest Terran Armstead. I believe we don't need him right now. We need him more into the playoffs or even in the last 3 games of the season. So give him a good rest. Even rest him for the Jets game. You know, of course, it depends on how this game goes, right? But I definitely agree 100%. Rest Terran Armstead.
Well, we got Scotty's predictions for tomorrow. They're going to start Smith, Cotton, Connor, Eichenberg, AJ. Wow. Smith over him and Lamb. I know because Lamb's been struggling with his back issues too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, so that's his big one. And he's not worried about Henry as much as you are. But yeah, you still, you know,
Still Derrick Henry.
I know he's
You
still
know.
a big bruising
Yeah.
back
He's
on that
physical.
front. So
He's
I'm a
Very
little bit,
physical. Good point.
yeah.
And that's exactly what I was going to say too. Miami Dolphins struggle against physical teams, and Tennessee's a big physical team.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get sloppy with our tackling, and they
Yeah.
think that that's not, you can't be sloppy with Derrick Henry.
No.
No, you can't.
not.
He would make you pay. If you're sloppy with him, he's taking one, he's taking one to the house probably on you. So you definitely, because he's a big dude, man. He's definitely someone I wouldn't want running at me if I had to tackle him. That's for
He's
sure.
fast too. He's very
Yeah,
fast.
I know he's fast. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
that would be that's he's still a threat. Yeah, he maybe not prime Henry like he was a couple years ago, but he's still that guy. Just like you said with Hopkins, he may not be prime, but he still can get the job done. And you got threats to worry about. It would have been a little more fun if Ryan Tannehill was a starter, having the story of Ryan
Yeah, that
Tannehill
would have been.
returning to the Miami Dolphins. We're not going to get that storyline, and unless people get hurt. But that would have been a fun storyline for sure coming in, but we missed that. So it is what it is. But Courtney, I know you said it's going to be easy, so we're going to get the Tennessee game out of the way. Then we're going to do what teams can't do. Look ahead. So Courtney, I let you go first this time. What's like your score prediction for tomorrow?
Oh God, I'm so bad at scores. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm so bad at predicting numbers. I'm just gonna say we're up by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, hey.
That's where I'm going. 3 touchdowns.
Hey, I would love that. 3 touchdowns.
One of those is going to be another pick 6.
Hey, that's a real good call. I love it. So, Steve, what's your final score prediction?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to Courtney. and Courtney, don't feel bad because I'm terrible with scores myself. I would say 38-13. We're playing in the Orange Bowl and playing on national TV. I mean, Orange Bowl. Look at me. We're playing in Hard Rock Stadium. But yeah, 38-13.
Oh wow, I have the same exact. Well, we're very close. I have 38 Dolphins, but then I give them one more touchdown than you. I have it like 38-20. So
I'm gonna
I
knock
have
on
those.
wood for all of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm
Now
so
let's hope they
superstitious.
don't. Let's hope they actually deliver it. Yeah, Jay, we did touch on that. Hunt is out, and then oh, I got to rule before we talk about other games. Um, I know that would make pick six 3 games in a row. We had one in the Black Friday game and last week, so that would be cool. I don't know. I would have to look that up. You know me, I like
Mhm.
my
Good times
Dolphins
to charm.
history. Yeah, that would be fun to look up.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. He says, nice to see Hunt back to the Cowboys and Ravens for to be more than a ham if he's out until the playoffs. So that's his take. But today's game, this is a game I waver on all the time between the I can't decide who I even want to win between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills today. One
Wow.
minute I think, oh, it'd
Yeah.
be better for Kansas City to win because we get more seating. But in a way, I don't want Buffalo to win because for whatever reason, but I don't want them to sneak into the playoffs because they match up well against us, and we just for whatever reason we don't play well against Buffalo. And I don't. I almost have that nightmare scenario. We finally get to the playoffs and we have to face Buffalo like in the first round or something like that. So where do you? I would go. Let's see. I went with Courtney first last time. So Steve, who do you want in that game?
Wow. Yeah. This is a real tough one for me. I mean, I like to see Buffalo lose, but then I like to see Kansas City lose too. Man, I don't know. I'd like to see Kansas City win. Yeah, I
I know.
like
I
to see
think it's a
Kansas City win.
Dolphin fan in us that makes it hard to want
Yeah,
to see Buffalo
yeah,
win.
yeah, for
Courtney, where
sure.
do you stand on that game?
I'm never cheering for Buffalo, so I'm
There you
going
go.
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey all day unless they play us.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go.
yeah.
I know that game is just weird. And then, I was looking, and the other game that's kind of interest to the Dolphins today, as far as seeding goes, Jacksonville goes into Cleveland. So maybe Cleveland can knock them off and help us out in the seeding there too. We do
Hmm.
have a game lead on them, but any buffer
Hmm.
we can get is a nice buffer. So
Absolutely.
maybe Cleveland. But outside of that, there's really no super important game to the Dolphins as far as seeding that I see could possibly go our way.
We're in
So
we're in control of our own destiny
I mean,
at this
yeah,
point.
I know. No, we are. The Rams do travel into Baltimore, but I don't know if the Rams can beat them. We'll see on that front. So here comes the fun part that teams can't do, but we can do. Okay, so we all have us the Dolphins winning tomorrow night. Then once again, it's already the Jets again. It seems like we're just watching that game, eating leftover Thanksgiving meal, and here we are again. And it's already going to be Jets week again after tomorrow night. So, Courtney, what do you think us against the Jets? I know we haven't done any. Don't worry. I know you haven't done any read, but just like in general, how the Dolphins stand right now and the Jets stand right now. What do you see in that outcome?
Oh, that's going to be another win. The Jets are in not as bad as Buffalo internal turmoil, but I don't think. I think it's going to be more of the same. I think now that
Yeah.
I think we'll even have a bigger game. I think it'll even be um, well, I think it's gonna be a redemption game for the defense because of Jalen Phillips went down, and I think it's gonna be a little bit of it's gonna be a defensive showdown, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it could definitely. Uh, to me, sorry, I got distracted. Scotty, the last I heard, they had the Browns hadn't named who their starter was going to be. I'm sure someone in the room may be a little bit, but I actually looked yesterday, and they had said they had not named who they're going to start in that game against Jacksonville today. So, and hey, DG Live, big fins up to you guys. Make sure you check out his show. And here on YouTube, he's DG Live, but his YouTube name has an X or E for the excellent he brings to his shows all the time over there. So, Steve, I think I know who you're going to say, but Dolphins versus Jets.
Oh well, Dolphins are going to win. I agree with Courtney's analysis there. Um, Yeah, we're going to be 11-3, I believe. Once we go, once the next 2 games, we're going to win. I feel very confident. 11-3.
Yep, that's it. Me too. I have us at it. So we all agree. Then it gets to the games where everyone says the Dolphins can't win. We start playing those teams with winning records. One of them at home and then one of them on the road. And then the last game against Buffalo, we'll see when we get there. But first, we got Dallas Cowboys coming in on Christmas Eve into Hard Rock Stadium. They kind of have the reputation of being a team that hasn't beaten a good team yet either. They did beat the Seahawks the other day, but they don't really super qualify as a great team. But they did beat a team that had a winning record when they played them. So, Courtney, Dolphins versus Cowboys in Hard Rock on Christmas Eve. Do your crystal ball way looking ahead. We can't take account in who's going to be injured or missing things, but as they stand right today, Dolphins versus Cowboys.
You'll never hear me not choose the Dolphins.
All right, hey, there you go.
Not in my blood.
Hey,
But,
I know the same here. That's my problem, but I'm going to try to be as realistic today as I can be.
So I can't be an analyst. I'm going to be
all
the
right, so
highest analyst
Steve,
you'll ever meet.
All right, so hey, I would take that as you saying Dolphins are going to win. So you're saying they're going to win all 3 games
I think
of the
it's going to
home
be a
streak.
struggle. I think it'll be a tough game. I think the Cowboys have a great defense. So I really think it's going to be communication on offense and really our offensive unit and that offensive line holding up.
Want to say hello?
Tua.
Yeah. Hey, no, I agree. That's what I'm with you 100% on that. I think we win all 3 home games. Hey, how are you?
Hey, go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins.
Good stuff. I like it, man.
I love
That's the
it.
way to teach them. Steve.
He's a real Dolphin.
Hey, that's awesome. So anyway, Steve, you Dolphins versus Cowboys. Who you got in that one?
Man, that's gonna be a tough one. Look, Dallas Cowboys are, in my opinion, they're kind of like the Miami Dolphins, but they haven't been real consistent this year. Either has Dak Prescott. He's kind of up and down. They got a really good defense. I'm not going to make a prediction and say that Dallas is going to win, because I want to see what Miami does against these, next 2 opponents they have, Tennessee and the Jets. But I'd have to give the edge on the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, well, Steve giving us some some rocks in the stocking on Christmas Eve. I think though the Dolphins come out on top. I just think that they know the narrative. This is finally a good team that they have on their home turf, because all those other games you've had to travel. Yes, one was in Germany, but you still got to travel all the way over there. And then we had to travel into Philadelphia, which is a hostile place to play. Buffalo always gives us issues going into Buffalo. I mean, dating back to the years when Marino and all of them, Buffalo's always been our Achilles heel for whatever reason. Now that I see your youngster coming in, man, everyone's coming in. That's awesome. So I'm with Courtney. I say Dolphins managed to win. And the main reason I'm doing this is I just want to kind of get to see what seeding you think the Dolphins are going to fall at. That's why I'm having fun with this today. So I have the Dolphins getting to the 12th win. And at the beginning of the season, I had predicted the Dolphins around 11-6. So that would exceed my preseason prediction already. By Christmas Eve, they would have more wins than I thought they were going to have for the whole season. So to me, that is super duper, to bring up a name from the past. So then we got, but like I said, and this has become a family affair, but my kid's too big to bring in.
I love it.
Cute, so my son's too big.
Family Dolphin
I would
family.
have him. Yeah, that's awesome. But we got the younger Dolphin fans coming into the room. Hey, Cap for life. Big fins up to you.
Morning, Cap for life.
Morning.
Oh, and Dolphin State of Mind. He snuck into the room, and that's awesome. Oh, and guys, make sure you hit those likes buttons for me. All you guys are the regulars in here. I know you've already tackled that subscribe button for me because you're all teammates already. And guys, if you want to, you know where you can find Steve. But Courtney, if they want to get you like on Instagram and follow you, how do they do that?
Only on Twitter.
Twitter. I'm sorry. Not. I don't know
Only on
why.
Twitter.
I'm never on Instagram. It came out. That's where I follow you. On Twitter. Where do they find you on Twitter?
It's doll_fan72.
So like the name on the screen there, but an underscore between
An
and
underscore and a
72.
72. Yes.
Doll_fan like that. PHAN 72.
Yes.
That's funny because Steve Malloy has 72 at the end of his name too. So all for that magical number. So for the Miami Dolphins back in the day.
Our
Yeah.
universal favorite number.
Yeah, exactly. And Back It Up Ben's podcast, other guy that provides great content on here on YouTube all the time. So let's see. Plus, we have Buffalo Week 18. Let's get into that game and have to win. Then we knock them out. Well, Scotty, that would be the most ideal situation. That's why he's leaning. He wants Buffalo today to win that game. Or KC has any easy. Well, they aren't getting. He says they aren't getting number 1 seed if KC wins. However, I want Buffalo out. So I know that's why it's one of those tough games to really decide. But I'm like kind of Courtney. It's hard for me to root. That's why I keep on probably switching back to one in Kansas City. But I think Buffalo's going to win today. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would bet on Kansas City losing and Buffalo winning just because Buffalo's coming off their bye week. Kansas City has some banged up players, and Buffalo's season's on the line. They probably feel if they lose this game, their season's over. So I think Buffalo, this is like their playoffs beginning already, is what I'm afraid of. Hey, Shake Money. Big fins up to you, Shake Money. Thank you, Steve, for putting those comments up there.
Sure.
I feel like you can't
Didn't see them
you
sneak
can't
into the
outweigh the
room.
fact that Buffalo is self-imploding. The McDermott comments, the
Yeah.
Diggs and Allen are not gelling. They're not on the same page. I think inside that building, they're falling apart. And I think that's going to show on field for the rest of the season. They don't gel. They're not cohesive. They're not fighting for each other as a team. And I think as the season goes on, Allen's going to throw more picks because that's what he's best at. I think they're going to self-implode even more as the season draws to an end. So I would be less scared to face Buffalo than Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's good, man. I guess just me the past few years, I've just gone tired of Buffalo. We finally beat them one time last year in the regular season. And then this one, I think, oh, we got it over. Then they beat us 2 more times next year, one in the regular season, one in the playoffs. So that's why I kind of just want the of Buffalo finally once and for all. So we know we're the kings of the division. I mean, I do see the Dolphins winning the division, but I just wouldn't want to have to face Buffalo that first week. Like if we get
That's a good point right there.
Yeah, don't want the Bills sneaking into the playoffs whatsoever. See, he's probably like me. He probably just feared because he's seen that. Courtney's a little more confident that she's not worried about Buffalo. To me, I just have that, I don't know, I just got that bad Buffalo taste in my mouth that they just always find a way to beat us when it matters, and it bugs me, So I'd be the first to admit I'm happy the Buffalo Bill fan, Michael K's not in the room right now because he'd be saying, aha, I knew it. Let's see. He's more Dolphin State of Mind. Whoop. Steve, bring that back up there.
Which one?
The Dolphin State of Mind.
Oh, Dolphin State of Mind.
See, what did he say? He said something. Oh, Bills would be eliminated. Hey, I hope so, man. I hope they will be eliminated, man. That'd be the greatest thing because, like I say, that's the one team that worries me in there. Because I know Kansas City beat us, but I still think we match up a little bit better against Kansas City. Now, if we have to go into Kansas City, that's a whole different enchilada. But I don't know. Maybe it's just, Courtney, you're more confident, so I'm going to go with your vibes and say, okay, we're done worrying about Buffalo. We're the better team, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So
I'm sitting back and letting Buffalo hurt itself at this point.
Yeah. No, they did implode a lot on their own this year. It's funny because so many of their fans were saying, oh, you guys are bragging about beating Denver, big who, and then Denver goes into them and beats them. So that was a beautiful thing. I do admit that.
I hate the narrative of the Dolphins can't beat winning teams. We're beating the team. Like, what do you want us to do? Lose to the bad teams? Like, we're beating teams we're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
I hate that narrative. Every team uses it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Eagle fans tell me it. Everybody, that's their only defense against the Dolphins is you guys can't beat winning teams. We're still beating teams.
Yep. No,
No
I know.
doubt.
That's how I look at it. That's why that whole narrative is so silly. It's so silly. And because like I say, when we beat Denver and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's a bad team," you put 70. How often do you see 70 put on any single team? I was at that game. My son and I were at that game. My son that's here, and we will never forget that game. We are always going to say we were at the game. The Dolphins scored 70. So that was a beautiful thing. You just don't see it that much. And then to have that team go beat Buffalo, it made it more sweet, So because you're right, Courtney. I don't care. You play who's on your schedule. This isn't college football. It's no committee that has the final choice to say you get into the playoffs or you don't. Oh, because you guys didn't play anyone, you don't get into the playoffs. We're not Florida State here. We are the Dolphins. We just win the games out on your schedule is all you can do, Steve and Courtney. And the Dolphins have done that beautifully this year. They have not had one let up against one of these teams.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't the Dolphins have the second hardest schedule in football at the beginning of the year?
Yes, that's what's funny. That's why you can never, all these people that look at schedules at the beginning of the season and say, oh, that's why things change from year to year. You just never know, because when we had that schedule, everyone thought these teams were going to really be good. People thought Denver was going to be a lot better than they started off, and they're starting to play better now.
And
but
the
they're
Giants.
saying, oh, they got Sean Payton now, him teamed up with Russell Wilson. They're going to tear it up. That's going to be a tough game. The Bills, of course, are always tough, and all these things. It panned out that some of these teams we played, because everyone was thinking the New York Giants, they were in the playoffs last year. And then
one on the
year,
road.
The Giants are bad, So, I mean, you can't control that. All you can control is to beat the team that's on your schedule that week, Courtney. And like you said earlier, that's a perfect way to do it.
Can't control if they win or lose before and after us.
Yeah, I know. You
True.
can't. That's it. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was like the secret poll among players. I talked about it on my show the other morning. It's like they did a poll of what coaches you would most like to play for in the NFL. And our Mike McDaniel came in very high on the list. Not number one, but he came in number 2.
Who was number one?
Courtney, you might be able to guess. It's a family hint. Think about your family's team. What coach came in number 1?
I hope it's not Tomlin, because my family hates him.
Oh, wow. Nope. He was number 1. This is what players ranked.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, my family wants him gone.
Yeah.
You know
wow,
what?
that's funny. But players ranked him. This is a poll among NFL players.
I can believe it, though. I mean, Tomlin's been around a while.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger, he's won some Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
And this is a poll on players on multiple teams. They just did it secretly and see what play. And, the NFLPA does it all the time. They try to see what teams are doing things, whatever. But this is the ones that came. Mike Tomlin, Mike McDaniel. So a pair of Mikes tops the list. Then you get Andy Reid and Dan Campbell, who used to be on the Dolphins staff.
I like Campbell.
And I could see I could see players wanting. I could see players wanting to play for him. That, to me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, obviously Mike Tomlin, Andy Reid, they've been around a long time. Mike McDaniel and Dan Campbell, they're new, so it's kind of neat to see them up there on the list that players would like
all
to play
seem
for.
To be like player coaches, like real good, open door, not like the Bill Belichick's.
Yeah.
They seem like so I can believe that, because they really seem like they have a great relationship with their team. They know their players, and they I can see that.
It's funny though. I would tell your Steeler fans, be careful what they wish for, because people used to say, oh, Don Shula has passed his prime. Let's push Don Shula out the door. And then you go to 50 million coaches after that. You guys have a good coach in Tomlin. Fans need to simmer down. Maybe he has to do. The man makes the playoffs all the time. Last year they didn't. And then now this year they might not.
I think the Steelers are in a little bit of turmoil right now, just from losing Big Ben, really Pickett, Trubisky. Neither one of them are going to be a long-term option. Now you have Minka coming out and saying that the team doesn't want to play all positions. And, he's they're just George Pickens. I don't know if you saw that game. He didn't celebrate with his team after the win. He was on the bench. He was jogging, looked like he was doing a walkthrough. I think they're just in a lot of turmoil right now, and I think that they just need something. But
Yeah, no, hey, I
they're
know.
melting down.
Yeah, no, I know, and Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Oh yeah, yeah. People were saying that, right? Everyone was making the Jets out as Super Bowl contenders. You're right. Good point of view, Dolphin state of mind. They did. They were writing him up like, oh, the Jets. A lot of people had us in third place in the division behind Buffalo, the Jets,
Yep.
and us finishing third place just because of Aaron Rodgers. And I always thought the Aaron Rodgers, I know he's great and one of the greatest to do it, but he's been on grid Packer teams that didn't get, he has one Super Bowl, but he was first round and done a lot of his career, So I'm like, why all of a sudden he's going to go to the Jets and be this superpower guy? And granted, I didn't want him to get hurt that first, few plays of the season. He was gone. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers at his age now would have been a huge difference. They would have been better, but he would have gotten killed back there at some point behind that offensive line.
Yeah.
So, so it's it. But that's it. That's the media had at us in third place. Now that we are in first place, the media is now says, well, they've played weak teams. But Scotty did that, in the beginning. Yeah, they had us like being horrible because we had a gauntlet of a schedule. So for whatever reason, I don't think that Courtney, I don't really care what the media says about us because all that matters is what we do on the field. But I don't think they're going to give us that respect until we actually probably go beat some teams of a winning record and then really at least win one playoff game and then they might start putting some respect on our names.
I don't even want them to respect us.
I know.
If you aren't with us now, don't bandwagon onto my team.
Yeah.
Keep talking your smack. It's actually motivating us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I agree. That's what I like. I agree with you 100% because I know so many of our fans, and I understand because it looks good for the team to have an MVP. But I tweeted out the other day, like I say, I don't care if Tua wins the season MVP, Tyreek Hill wins the MVP. It's a good honor because it means your team's probably playing pretty well. But at the end of the year, I want my favorite Dolphin player to win the Super Bowl MVP because that's the only MVP that really matters at the end of the day. Whoever wins that Super Bowl, because it means your team won and that's what I want, guys. I want a Super Bowl MVP to be on the Dolphins. The last Super Bowl MVP we had was Larry Zonka, so that's way too long to have a Super Bowl MVP of a Miami Dolphins player.
No, I agree 100%, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, he's it. The gatekeeping is real. The gatekeeping is real. Yeah, let's see. We will. He said, Scotty says, we will win the Super Bowl and they still won't respect it. Everyone will be putting disclaimers on it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, Scotty. I mean, how can you do it? They may put a disclaimer
Good point, but
Tua.
I don't think so.
They may put a disclaimer on Tua winning it. Well, he won it because of his team and his scheme and whatever. But they won't. I don't think with the Dolphins they would put a disclaimer on it. I think they would give knowledge, and I think the Dolphins are getting some knowledge because who was it, Steve? That's oh my God, who came into town this week on the national media, and he said that the Dolphins. It's not a matter if they're going to win the championship. It's a matter of when. It was one of these guys.
Oh, I don't recall, to be honest.
Oh man, I forget. I got to go. Did you happen to see it, Courtney?
No, I try to tune out the media when they talk about the Dolphins.
Yeah, I know. I just happened to see someone, just happened to say it. Oh man, I forget who. Maybe someone on here. Will know.
Omar,
I forget who it was, but I was very happy.
No, it wasn't Omar Kelly.
If it's not Omar, I'm not following. I follow Omar religiously, so
yeah, I like Omar Kelly as well.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, it was one of those guys that he just thinks that the Dolphins are good, and he loves how because he's here this week getting ready for the Monday Night Football, so he was being around the team, and he says he's never seen like a team so focused. And
that was Omar Kelly.
Okay, no, not Omar. There was another. Omar's always like saying that. Yeah, he said that.
No, that was Omar Kelly.
He made a whole post. He made a whole post about this is the best
Yeah.
team he's ever seen. He can't believe.
Yeah.
No, I know. But
Yeah,
there's another guy like Ryan Clark. What's the guy that used to be? I know he's a black guy, but it's not Omar Kelly. It's like he used to be like a general manager or whatever. And I will find him.
Acho? Is it Acho?
Yeah. Oh no, he loves it. He loves.
I love him too.
He
I don't know.
He loves some dog. He loves himself some Tua. That's for sure. Well, I will look it up. I'm sorry. I should have had his name because I
That's
thought
all
that
right.
was cool. Yeah, but he said it too. But yeah, Omar Kelly says this is like the different feel of a team he's ever been around.
Mhm.
And for the Dolphins. And that he's never seen like a Dolphins team like this. They act like champions and stuff. And it's just he says it's fun to be around finally a team that's actually winning and that's actually relevant at this point in December, not just fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
It feels good.
So, Steve, I know you love, you always follow Omar. I know
Yeah, I
Scotty's
like
not the
Omar.
biggest
I
fan of
like Omar.
Omar. He will have him sometimes, but I even think Scotty may agree that Omar's been a little more positive this year for
He
sure.
has been.
For
Well, he
sure.
has to be. He has to be.
Yeah,
I mean, he goes to all. He's always in the locker. He goes to most of the practices, all that stuff. He's been around the team for over 15 years. So, he knows what he's talking about, good or bad. So,
yeah. Oh man, I can't believe now. It's gonna. But I would tell you guys later when I think about it in your guys'
It's gonna
DMs.
bother me now too. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
so
Scotty, like I
Rob,
said, he's not a fan of Omar. He always says he's not a fan of Omar, but that's okay. Who was
going on to the Baltimore Ravens game.
Oh, yes. That's it. That's
Yeah.
where that's
we
where we
we kind of
forgot.
went
So
off the beaten path, but that's
we
okay.
did. Thank you, Steve. That's why I
No
have you
problem.
here. You get me back on. Okay. So Courtney and I have us beating the Cowboys. So we both have us
Right.
at 12 wins. You still have us at 11 wins after the
Well,
Cowboys.
I didn't say they were going to lose, and I didn't say they would win. I said the Cowboys, I believe, have the edge. You know.
Okay. There you go.
So
So that's a
yeah,
nice way to put it, though. But
yeah.
it still doesn't sound like you're not confident on that game, is
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
confident on that game. I got pause on that game. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So then
Yeah.
we travel into Baltimore on New Year's Eve. That's on
Mhm.
New Year's Eve day, but it's New Year's Eve.
Mm.
And we go into, I already know Courtney's take because she says it's hard for her to go against her Dolphins.
I don't know which way I'm going
And
here.
so Steve, what's your take on that game?
You know me, Rob. I'm gonna call it like I see it. Baltimore's gonna win that game.
All right. So then we still don't know about the Cowboy game with you, but so
Right.
I'm just trying to get to it. I'm worried about that game. That's what I would say. So I
Mhm.
might put that game in the loss column because I don't know if we're going to be able to run the table the whole way. I hope Courtney's right and proves us all wrong. And Courtney, when you come back again and we do other shows, you can say, "I told you guys." That's what I. But that's
I'll
the
tell you
one
what,
game
they're both
I
going
have
to
us
come down to our
losing.
defense. It's going to
Yeah,
come down to our defense,
I think you're
pressure
right.
quarterbacks, getting in their face, stopping Lamar from running.
Mhm.
It's going to be
yeah.
defensive
No,
games.
that's a tough game. But I will have us losing. So then I would just start off this time. I have us beating Buffalo in the last game. Even though I've said I'm afraid of Buffalo, I just feel like we got to get that monkey off our back and we're going to be all out and we're going to beat Buffalo at Hard Rock. And we don't even know what it's going to mean to Buffalo because they got a lot of games
Mhm.
up until then. It may mean nothing for them. May mean just beating us. And if they could knock us out of number one seed, they will play all out just to knock us out of number one seed. So if there's any meaning for them to play, they're going to come in with us. So I will see. But I have us beating Buffalo. Courtney, I assume you have us beating Buffalo.
I have us getting 3 pick sixes in that game.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
really
Wow.
confident. I love it, though.
Josh Allen's
Louis
throwing a
Riddick,
pick, and
thank
Josh
you.
Allen's going to throw right to Ramsey. He's going to throw right to X. And then I'm going to give Jason Pierre-Paul an a pick six. Just welcome to the team.
I love it. Louis Riddick, thank you, Shake Money. That's who said,
Yeah.
he said it's not a matter of if the Dolphins would win a championship. It's a matter of when. That's who has said it. Thank you, Shake Money. Guys, make sure you check him out on the Finns tailgate. He's always on there doing good things for that channel over there. He's bringing his A game. Thank you, man. I knew it was someone. His name was just popping out of my mind. That's exactly who it was. Thank you, Shake Money. I think he went. I think he think you went a little too crazy on your 3 pick sixes. Hey, but that's what makes us fans, Scotty, and that makes us fun.
Absolutely.
Go big or go
Yeah,
home.
Absolutely. I love it. I
mean
love it.
Jay. Hey, but Jay's a great guy. He's actually been on my show. His name's Jordan, and he drops in when I drop links all the time. So Courtney,
I'll always count on
yeah,
Josh Allen throwing
yeah. So, Courtney, you are more than welcome to be on this show any single time you want, but you should really start. You bring a good charisma to the screen. You should do this. And like I say, because I know when you said that on Twitter the other day, I thought there was no way you were going to answer me. I said, I'm just going to say, well, you can do it. I go, she's not going to answer me because she said, oh, I should do a podcast one day. I go, well, you're always welcome on my show. And
No, I was so flattered. I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I figured we would meet with critics, and she said, absolutely. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do it. So that was cool. And you did definitely bring your A game. I know you got your stuff to do. So what's your plans for the day, Courtney, with no Dolphin? Are you going to watch any NFL football? Or are you just going to go hang with the family and wait till tomorrow night?
It'll be in the background, but I haven't even put up my Christmas tree yet. So
yeah,
today is going to be Christmas decorating, football in the background, and just happily not caring about a lot of the games because I don't need to.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, no, that's great.
To Chiefs Bills, though, I'll probably pay a little attention to that, but
yeah, yeah, it's hard not to.
So Rob doesn't want me to give you my take on the
No, I do. I was just going to bring it up. I said, oh, I never got hit your take. So what do you think against Buffalo?
That's there again. I know we're playing in the Orange Bowl. Why do I keep saying Orange Bowl today? I know we're playing in Hard Rock Stadium. And I agree with both of you. And you know, Buffalo is in shambles right now. I'm going to pause on that one, and I'm just going to give a pause. I'm not going to say who has the edge. I really don't know. That could go either way. I mean, look, we're playing Buffalo. Buffalo always gives us a hard time, and they're, you know, a divisional game. It's tough, but man, I'm just going to pause on that one for sure. But I will tell you this. I will follow up with this. What I want to see in these the next 3 games after the Jets game, after we play Jets and we go into the remaining 3 games of the season, I want to see the Dolphins. I want to see Tua. I want to see our running game, you know, dominate teams. I want to see Tua Tagovailoa throw limited interceptions. If not, don't throw any at all. You know, limited turnovers on our team. We need to start gelling. In other words, we need to start preparing. We need to start gelling, coming together, putting, you know, getting more of a balanced attack. I think our defense will be just fine. I have a little concern about our offense this year because it's been struggling playing against physical teams. And those last 3 games of the season are going to be very, very physical. Whether we win or lose, of course, I want them to win. But if we did lose any of those games, what I'm going to be looking out for is, just as I said, how did they play these teams? Were they competitive? Did they just get blown out? You know, did Tua have a good game? Did our running backs play well? Did we lose by 3 points? All those factors. If we can stay in the game and we can be competitive and going into the playoffs, then I think we have a good chance of going to the Super Bowl. But if we get
Evan
blown
wanted
out,
an answer from you. He says, "Don't do a push, make an answer." Evan's on one of the other networks, on the Finns Talk Sports Network that Steve and I are on every Tuesday.
I can't give you an answer because it's hard to say. It really is, you know.
Go with your gut. Just go. Just full send. Full gut. You gotta just do it.
Yeah, come on, Steve. Just give us one answer.
What answer do you want?
Switzerland.
If you had a bet right now, win the game, not point spreads, nothing. Just who's going to come out 1 point ahead at least.
As far as the last 3 games of the season,
just the Buffalo game.
The Buffalo game.
Get off the hook with the Dallas one. Just
all right. I'll go ahead and say it. I won't be politically correct. Buffalo's going to win the game.
Oh my God! You don't have any faith in us, Steve.
I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. Buffalo's going to win that game. I don't know how many points they're going to win by. I think we're going to be a lot more competitive than we were the last game for sure. But Josh Allen, man, I know he might throw some picks, but he's just that court. We have a hard time with Josh Allen.
You gotta remember, we're at the Hard Rock, though. They complain about our stadium, the heat.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a hot. It's not going to. The sun
It's not
isn't
gonna
going
be
to
as
play a
hot as
factor.
normal, maybe, but it's still gonna be
Yeah,
warmer than what they're used to,
yeah.
probably. But
I'll give Buffalo the edge on that one. I think the final score of that game is going to be a low scoring game, like a 23-20,
uh,
something like that. Either
all
way,
right.
whoever wins that game. But
Well,
I
I'm
do
going with
give
the more
Buffalo the
positive
edge on that
Courtney
one.
this morning, Steve, because I need a little
Okay.
positive. It's been way too long since we've had positive talk here in Miami Dolphin land.
You can
And
go positive. My family calls it
yeah,
delusion. It's
yeah, I know
okay.
exactly.
I won't go far as that far to say, but no, it's not
Yeah.
delusional law. Of course, I want my Miami Dolphins to win.
So you
But
don't see us being. What seeding do you see us? You see us winning the AFC East, holding on to win the AFC
oh
East.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, because we got a 3
Yeah,
game
yeah,
lead
for
with 5
sure.
games.
Yeah, there's no doubt
Basically,
we're going to win the AFC East. It would be a complete failure if we don't win the AFC Championship. It would be a complete failure in
the
my mind.
AFC East. Oh,
I
you're
mean,
saying if you,
no, if we don't go to the Super Bowl, it would be a complete failure on our part this year.
wow,
Think
so
about
that's
it.
almost. But yet
Think
you hardly.
about it. I have high expectations of this team. We've got to. Everybody's talking about how great a team we have, right? We got the running backs, we got the receivers, we got the quarterback. What then? Why can't we win the Super Bowl? I mean, that's to me, that's how I view it.
All
So
right.
if we don't win the AFC Championship, then this year would be a complete failure. And I'm not going to get into all the stuff of next year, all the people we've got to pay,
All right.
and all the free unrestricted free agents we have. Because
Yeah.
after next year, we're not going to have the same team as we have this year. If we don't do it this year, I'm not saying we're not going to do it next year, but it's going to be a lot more challenging.
All right. But anyway, I know you're still overall positive. So that's a lot.
Absolutely. I'm
That's
I'm
good.
loving this. This is I'm very happy with this team this year.
Evan Posner even says Sanders is good now. He's been riding Sanders
He
all
has been.
year, but
He
now he's
has
saying
been.
he's good. So that's good to see Evan come around. Guys, he's on the Fins Talk Sports Network if you want to check out Evan sometimes. And guys, if you ever want to see a good breakdown and learn how like an NFL quarterback breaks down something, watch Drew's Brees' latest breakdown of Tua's game against the Commanders. It's excellent. You guys would like it. It taught me a lot. Courtney, if you haven't check it out, check it out. I don't know if you've seen it,
Haven't-
Evan. I mean, Steve,
I will though.
have you seen it
No,
yet?
I haven't seen it. I know the other
It's here
guy.
on YouTube.
I know, but there's another guy. What is it? The name of the show, quarterback or something. I can't remember who it is. It's Patrick Sullivan. He had a good breakdown of Tua Tagovailoa as well. Very
Okay,
good.
but this one's called QB Masterclass Drew Brees. It's on YouTube, and he breaks down Tua's performance.
Mhm.
And he talked very highly of Tua. It's an amazing how he said, "Man, I've never seen
Right.
anticipation like this before." And
Mhm.
you see, it's very good, and it's not biased.
Right.
He just he says what he does well, and all that. It's really cool
Mhm.
stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. So with no further ado, Courtney, I'm gonna let you go do your Christmas stuff. But so we're gonna close out the show. Steve, go spend some time with your family, and I'm gonna wake my lazy,
JT Sullivan.
sleepy high school senior up and go out to lunch and whatever, so we can go do some lunch or something. But that's what I'm gonna do. Courtney, don't I'm gonna close out with a video, but stay on because I'm gonna talk to you backstage to thank you. And I
Thanks for
will
having
thank you
me.
once again here publicly. Thank you so much. Courtney, you are welcome anytime on
Thank you.
my channel. If you want to do your own podcast, you're more than welcome to do it. I'm sure Steve, he's the main host on the Real Talk Fins Talk. He would be happy to have you any Tuesday night at 7:30 on our show over on the Fins
Absolutely.
Talk
Absolutely.
Sports
I'll
Network.
I'll I'll be
So
getting
don't
back
be
with you,
shy. Just reach out,
Courtney.
and you're always welcome. It's great
Thank
to
you.
have another Dolphin fan in our little group here. So it's super. Thank you so much. It was a privilege to have you on today.
Thank you. It was wonderful being
Yeah.
on. Thank you.
All right. So just like I said, stay on. Steve, any final thoughts before you go into your Miami Dolphins #1 baby chant?
Uh no, I mean I'm very confident that we're going to win the next two games you know, pretty easily. As I said, we're going to beat Tennessee 38-13. Just can't wait to see the game Monday night.
All right. Sounds good. So Steve and I, we always close out Courtney by saying Dolphins #1 when we're together. So you can join in on us. So, Steve, you can lead it off.
All right, you ready?
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
I'm ready.
Remember, Dolphins number one, baby.
baby.
Dolphins number one.
Fins up.
Fins up.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, man, he knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show.